I'm not mistaken, we're gonna start with the admin pick for the map, right?
Yeah, it's Dry Arabia first.
Perfect. The most vanilla, the best map in the entire map pool, Dry Arabia. Can't get any better than that. Kind of looking at these drafts, there's some irony here. There is a lot of irony here because Stay Frosty has his name in Start.gg as Nerf Mongol, and yet he selected Mongol. So I really want
He
to see him play Mongol.
he hates Mongols
Really,
so much, he just takes it away from his opponent and doesn't pick it himself to show his disdain.
that is fair. That is fair. So, kind of taking a quick peek at these bans, there's really nothing too surprising except for maybe the Ayubids ban. But you've got Ottomans on both side ban, you've got Sengoku on both side ban, you got Malians on both sides ban, and those are really considered some of the better civs in the competitive scene at the moment. Stay Frosty banned Macedonians, which recently had some patchwork done to them, and they're Rediri. Reddarksider looks like he banned Ayubids, which is honestly, I think, the first time I've seen that
I'd assume these are
that ban.
targeted bans directly against the person, not like. I mean, we're in Warchief Club, right? People don't actually play all civs, and yeah.
Tell that to Sass.
Fine, okay. Some people play all civs and are comfortable playing all of them, but most will probably have like 3, 4 in their repertoire, and the rest one will be maybe a little dodgy, a little less practiced. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, let me think here. We've got Baltic picked here, and we've got Dry River, which of course has the small ponds in the middle. And of course, we have Baldlands as a Pro Scout map and Cliffside as close spawns. What do you expect to see on Arabia when we say...
So it's vanilla. You can really kind of play a lot of different civs here. If I was Reddarksider, I'm kind of looking at China as his most powerful, or Delhi as his most powerful civs. That's the direction I would imagine he would go in Dry Arabia. You want to save Zushi maybe for Baltic. You want to save it
Yeah, that's what...
potentially for Badlands. But I think Zushi is kind of lined up for Baltic there. Delhi could be used on Cliffside pretty well.
Okay, I think I've made my decision. We're gonna see on Baltic Reddarksider play Zushi. We're gonna see on Baldland him playing a Ubid. On Cliffside he's gonna play China, and on Dry River he's gonna play
Ayubids.
We already had that.
Oh, you did.
But yeah, I did. That's true. And on Dry River he's gonna play Lancaster.
Delhi.
So
See,
I'll say
think,
Arabia is going to be Byzantines and Delhi is going to be left out in the cold.
So I think we're going to see House of Lancaster on Cliffside. It's the way House of Lancaster is played right now is a very infantry, mass spear and hobblers are horsemen. Beat your opponent over the head until they die, sort of blunt force trauma to the face, mixed with the side of blunt force trauma to the face. So House Lancaster really comes across as a cliffside type civ. Plus, you can always put the white tower in the middle, or you can be extremely toxic and put the white tower in your opponent's base. Definitely an option there.
I feel like it doesn't really happen anymore, though. Does it?
I think it does. If you were recently watching EGC, Biljardi attempted to put a white tower in his opponent's base. Didn't work out great, but he still tried. He gets an A for effort. So it's a thing.
See, that's the thing. I don't think it generally works out.
Oh,
but it's a very Killiari thing to do.
Yeah, I've seen it work, and I've seen it not work. I'm not the biggest fan of doing it, but yeah, like I said, if you scout appropriately, you know what defenses your opponent has. It's a tool in the tool bag you can use, especially if you just want to kind of say, hey man, get out of my game, right? That's a great way to convey that message.
Just a random note, by the way, folks. We're not actually just talking the time away. Technically we are, but we're just waiting for these guys to draft for Dry Arabia.
So we have the draft in. The draft is ready to go.
And I was wrong.
I think we both were wrong.
Damn it.
We both were wrong. Shocker, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, we totally saw that coming, by the way. It is going to be Japan versus Delhi. Now,
I feel like these are two A-tier civs and both strongly positioned to kind of win this game.
I mean, Delhi, I warrant is on just a basic land map is in the top 3 civs that you can pick on there. It's just that I expected Reddarksider to be more comfortable with Byzantines, possibly. But then again, if I look at this, there's no Delhi counter, so to speak. And there definitely are some civs that Byzantine does not want to have to deal with, like Japan, for example.
Yeah, Japan can be a tough one for Byzantine to play into, though I've seen a lot of Byzantine builds where you apply a lot of pressure with spear and horsemen, you use the hippodrome, and you can really sort of constrict a fast castle Japan, though...
Yeah, but that's basically it. You pick Byzantine, the other person picks enter a civilization that can make Dark Age spears, and suddenly you know, okay, I guess I'm not gonna go binary.
Yeah, and I think the meta surrounding Byzantines, more players are open to Hippodrome. You've seen Hippodrome come out on top in some S-tier tournaments, and it's very powerful. It's just not the greed option that most players choose. But if used correctly, Hippodrome is very powerful. But I think we're almost ready to jump into this game here on Dry Arabia. No, we got a few more minutes.
Classic 4-minute observer delay. So we're gonna be right there. Let me actually put this on the screen. Does this work? Yay!
So I'm kind of curious here to see how Japan approaches this. Japan could open Dark Age if they want, attack Delhi's gold, just slow down that scholar production. So I think that's an option, and sort of go fast castle behind that into Mounted Samurai. The only thing that concerns me about sort of a fast castle play out of Japan is Delhi can really pump out the spears, and you sort of just say, okay, Delhi, you can have access to the 3 sacred sites, and it's a greed mechanic that is really powerful for Delhi. So I think there's either going to be some Dark Age or some Feudal play out of Japan. I don't think Japan's going to spend too long in Feudal Age. The timings, just going fast castle into Delhi, just feel like you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, I've seen multiple attempts at that, and the thing is, you don't contest Delhi in the feudal age, and you go straight castle. Well, Delhi is just gonna be there in castle with you about half a minute later because they just got 3 sacred sites for free from you.
Yeah, and so when I look at, Japan, sort of Onabugeisha with sort of an infantry mix could work pretty well. Add in a couple spears here. That might be the way to go. Again, I always feel like any Dark Age pressure to Delhi's gold just to slow down their scholar production is a plus. And if you intend to play a sort of feudal game, then, why not start in Dark Age? Japan's Age 2 landmark is an economic landmark, but it gives you farms. So it's not something you need, pre 5 minutes in the game. It's nice to have, but you can absolutely live without it and get it at 6 minutes if you can slow down Delhi's scholar production and slow them down. Spawns also will dictate a little bit of that, right? Delhi gets a forward gold. It's a little bit more idealistic to go after that. They get a back gold. It's not as valuable to go after that in Dark Age. So I think we're gonna have to take a look at how they spawn. And this is EGC's version of Dry Arabia, so I think the spawns are a little bit more stable. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So as I understood it, Kaivaru for the EGC Arabia version, basically he sets so they have set sheep spawns, so they don't fluctuate for the most part. And other than that, he just changed some parameters how resources can spawn to make it less random. But I don't 100% know what exactly that means. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I think it's just a little bit more stable. You can get more consistent spawns with the sheep, with the starting resources, and the spread of the resources is a little bit better than the traditional map.
The sheep really is the main part that players wanted and are focusing on. Personally, I think Arabia didn't need an EGC version. But if people like it, and there has been work done, Cavario does good work. Some of his maps are really, really nice. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say this map is better.
So, as I sit here and I just, think about how both civs are kind of going to go back and forth with each other, Delhi really kind of wants to drag this along just a little bit, aim for like a 20-25 minute type of kill, whereas Japan, I mean, I feel like they might try to go for just a little bit of a sooner aggression pattern. And I'm just, the Onobu Geisha, which is a really powerful unit there, other than archers, which Onobu Geisha kind of counter, what does Delhi have to deal with that unit in the feudal age?
I mean, there's Ghazi Archer, which is what I think should be played in general, and I honestly expect Stay Frosty here to just go for Horseman as well as Yumi, and we'll find out what both of these players got going for them now as we enter the game. We've got Stay Frosty on the right side in blue, and we've got Reddarksider on the left in the red. As I try to remember how to swap these guys around, and it worked! And we don't have reversed name tags. Beautiful.
Yeah, so no Macedonian, so you can swap it around, and it's not going to invert it. I think it was a Macedonian glitch.
It's a Macedonian thing, for the most part, I believe.
Yeah. So kind of taking a look at these spawns, as I kind of feared a little bit, you've got a back gold spawn for Reddarksider, so that's going to kind of protect against any potential feudal age aggression. And it looks like Stay Frosty is kind of just opening no Dark Age aggression, 7 villagers on berries, so that kind of tells you he's going to get the first wheelbarrow upgrade, which is already in.
Yeah.
And he's going straight to feudal. Okay.
Japan is not really gonna Dark Age aggress against Delhi. Like, Delhi doesn't really care. Sure, this would be a nice spot to attack at, because the berries and the gold are next to each other and you can delay scholars, but is that really worth it? It's behind the opponent's base, you have to walk around, so your spears are basically in dire straits the entire time, and you're only gonna arrive when Delhi is already going up to feudal age. So, like, it's just not worth it. And even then, you can't possibly kill anything because Delhi is just going to pop out a scholar.
Yeah, so the idea isn't to kill anything. The idea is to just force him off gold, annoy him a little bit, and slow down some of that scholar production. I am a little curious. We're almost 2 minutes into the game, and I don't see a mosque from Reddarksider. Am I imagining things?
No, you are not. Come on! I know you play this Civ. What's going on?
Yeah, so we do have wheelbarrow coming in, but it is it's coming in at the speed of my grandmother driving.
So unless he's revolutionizing Delhi gameplay right about now, maybe he overslept. I'm not quite sure. And anyway, he's gonna get an H-up mosque either way, but so the usual Delhi opening that never fluctuates, not in 1,000 years. Well,
has fluctuated.
You cannot see it here, unfortunately. And he is not going to have efficient production for his first production building that he's gonna pop out. I'm just waiting for that oh damn moment when he realizes, wait, maybe there's something missing here.
Ooh, this is like So Kuro Storehouse, no shocker there. It is the preferred choice of most Japanese players, but I wasn't sure where he was going to put it. He's got 2 forward wood lines, and so that feels bad. So he's just kind of putting it in the back of his base just so he's going to get some good farm spawns around it, but it's not going to serve as a good drop-off location.
This kind of
for the
screams
wood
fast
line.
castle to me, quite honestly.
It does. It absolutely does. And seeing as Reddarksider didn't open with a mosque, and here it comes now.
He remembered!
Scholar production might be a little behind, so Stay Frosty might be able to get away with the fast castle build, because Delhi's going to be a little slow on getting those techs.
Well, Wheelbarrow is gonna be done. Let's actually check. What do you think? What is Wheelbarrow gonna go down to? It's 1 minute and 10 right now. Mosque about to finish.
Not that much.
It's not even in range.
Sanctity is going to be slowed down as a result.
Sanctity immediately queued, and immediately queued some scholars. I don't get this opening. Like, what was the point?
I think he just forgot. So Stay Frosty, scouts kind of coming over, checking out the Delhi base here, seeing what's going on, and nothing too crazy, fairly standard for Delhi here. I don't know that Stay Frosty scouted how delayed this mosque was, but
yeah, no, he did not check the base before that, so he doesn't really know. There's shenanigans going on the other side, and quite honestly, I do believe it didn't really slow down Reddarksider all that much. Like, as in, almost not at all for his text. The only thing that is delayed is actually efficient production, which is now stuck behind Sanctity, so we're going to be inefficiently producing military units soon.
Yeah, and efficient production allows Delhi to garrison a scholar and just increases the production speed of that production building. So, alright, Reddarksider scouts out the barracks. Spears first up on the queue. This kind of feels a little bit more like I'm making defensive spears so your Ghazi raiders can't harass me. Yeah. There is 7 on wood, so these splits aren't screaming as fast castle. You're down to 2 on gold. So we're going stable coming down, so we're going to get horsemen as well.
Yeah,
so we are going to play some feudal with Delhi.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Stay Frosty does not see the archery, and now he sees it. But like, it's 5 minutes 55 in. He expects his archery range to be the second production building. Like, he expects there to be a stable somewhere. That's why he has 2 spears. 3 spears now.
Yep, stables is coming up now, and scholars are moving out, so that is going to slow down Sanctity. 30 seconds though, so this timing for Reddarksider is pretty clean. Scholars are going to get to the middle sacred site just a little bit early, but not that big of a deal. They'll hit the other sacred sites just after Sanctity comes in.
All 3 scholars moving out. The first horseman for Japan is already on the field though, so these scholars are completely unprotected. And Ghazi are on the way now, but as I said, no efficient production, which is coming in 2 minutes from now.
Yeah, and these horsemen
already moving out.
Obviously counter the archers, and they don't trade terribly into Ghazi raiders. So should be easy for Stay Frosty to deny the sacred site. First horseman coming in, takes his charge. Archers are going to start cutting back. Scholars gotta run here. Oh,
he actually saves that archer. Holy. Well, he doesn't save that one. And speaking of saving, it is gone. Top sacred site is almost peaceful coexistence, except that the scholar is half dead because the wolf was chewing on him. And now he got the scholar.
Horseman is going to clean the scholar up, then go back and decap that sacred site, but south sacred site has been capped by Reddarksider, and this middle one is currently his.
Second stable for Stay Frosty now, so it's just gonna be full feudal spear horseman. The good old right-click combination.
Yeah, that's a move combination.
Fair enough. Fair
Stay
enough.
Frosty. Reddarksider, I expect him to add in a barracks soon. I hope he adds in a barracks. He does have a barracks right there, so we're gonna get some spears in the near future.
The hell? Stay Frosty used his all army hotkey or something, because that horseman that was decapping the top sacred side is gone.
That is a tiny bit of a mistake. But he's going to get the South Sacred Site.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Reddarksider is going to complain too much about. Top Sacred Site now being decapped. Reddarksider's taking his Gazis out. Gonna attempt to cut off any reinforcements here, but those are spears. You don't want to take those fights, so rightfully he backs off.
I'm still stuck in that, what was it, 2021 meta? Where Don already made a guide about, you know, you just take one sacred site with your entire army, wall it in, move on to the next one. And
Yeah,
it worked.
I mean,
it worked. As we see a horseman raid come in onto the Delhi woodline, and is Reddarksider gonna react to this? I mean, he's moving his guys over. Yeah, he's actually looking straight at it, and still he's losing one. One
yeah,
villager
it was a good
gets
surround
left.
from Stay Frosty there. Did cost him a horseman, though. It was a weak horseman, so not that big of a deal. But the longer this stays in feudal, I think the better it is for Reddarksider here, as he has access to healing, and Stay Frosty does not.
I'll say yes and no. He can heal, which is really efficient, as we see a Ghazi raid coming onto the Japanese goal, takes out two No, that guy lives.
not
Two,
yet.
two health?
He lives.
Well,
Yeah.
takes out one. 1-1.
Talk about having a guardian angel there. That was a little bit of a pathing issue. All the Gazis just ganged up on that last horse or last villager to surround him, so he couldn't escape, and they just kind of forgot to give that 2 HP one a little bit of a love tap on their way out.
Yeah, where was it going with this? Anyway, there is one thing that Delhi does not like about drawn-out feudal, and that is the resources on the map slowly running out, as Japan gets 3 farms all around the Kura storehouse, so their farm transition is basically already halfway done for free.
Yeah, so that is a little bit of a timing issue that Reddarksider is going to have to be careful of. We have the Bannerman hitting the field, which is like a pseudo Castle Age Knight. Recently, in the most recent patch notes, his bonus went from 15% to 10%.
It's still really good, guys. It's still really good.
Yeah, not that dramatic of a change. It's a small, subtle change.
I mean, these horsemen for Japan have 9+3 damage with the Yuma Bannerman aura. They're really good. As we see, Delhi starting pro scouting now that they got from the second mill down. And
Stay Frosty's horseman get a little bit of a poke, but he responds in time, so it doesn't take too much damage.
second round of horsemen coming from the top side. Reddarksider spots him out immediately. He is going to not lose the scholar. They wanted to move to the top sacred side there, and we see Reddarksider actually spamming out spears right now. Only one Ghazi in queue, and the rest is all spears to react to Stay Frosty's horseman mass.
Attempts to surround the scout there, not gonna get him. Spear and archers are responding to the southern raid around Reddarksider's base, and Stay Frosty doing a really good job kind of taking control of 2 groups here, just looking for any opportunities. But Reddarksider, he's pretty turtled up right now. Not a lot of exposed resources. His wood line is the most exposed, and he's leaving some military around there.
Yeah, we see the Ghazis retreat back out of vision of Stay Frosty there. Both players just circling each other's bases, but Stay Frosty is definitely loading up resources to go straight to Castle Age, as we see Reddarksider build the Great Wall of the Delhi Sultanate, and trying to wall in the bottom side. Scout sees all of these horsemen moving in, and the walls are actually almost finished, so this guy needs to pay attention here. He can't just go. Okay, he's just gonna go back around in circle.
Yeah, and Reddarksider doesn't have anything on gold. He's only got one sacred site, so matching this castle timing from Stay Frosty is going to be a little challenging here.
Oh, bottom walls have not been finished. That is unfortunate. And I mean, Stay Frosty has a scout here, so he sees these attempted walls, probably gonna take that one out on the way out. Nah, just wants to leave and keep his horsemen alive, because Floating Gate is coming out right now.
Yeah, and this is a really good timing from Stay Frosty. He's going to now sort of be able to grab all the relics, which versus Delhi is really, really, really hard. And Reddarksider not in a great position to match with his own castles. So once the Floating Gate comes in, he's either got to attack or he's got to re-macro.
Yeah. Stay Frosty walling off his own base as well. Bottom side coming up. He still has quite a bit left in his gold vein, and the next one is already secured with a tower on the top side. So yeah, I do like these walls at the bottom, just so he doesn't have to pay attention to it anymore. And he's also prepping his first archery range of the game. Reddarksider really needs to take control of these sacred sites, but he still doesn't know that Castle Age is the name of the game for his opponent now.
Yeah, he's about to know, though, as Floating Gate comes in. And Reddarksider needs to kind of make a decision here. He's losing the middle sacred site, so he's got to either go back on gold or take control of these. Stay Frosty's raid on the north side gets denied. Ghazi's coming into Stay Frosty's base, causing a lot of idle time. TC is able to take a Ghazi raider down, though, as the villagers just kind of run. That's 20 idle vills, so that's a good little bit of idle time.
That's exactly what he needs to do right now. Like, as long as Stay Frosty is not mining gold, Reddarksider does have an advantage. I do hope that he saw the archery range having the Yorishiro, so the Castle Age Yumi that will be about to pop here. Okay, they're not Castle Age just yet, but Yumi are being mass-produced, is my point here.
A little bit of a different style for Japan. Usually you see that first one go into a stables, but not in this case. We're going mass Yumi, and Reddarksider still at least 60 seconds away from a Castle Age. Oh, those horsemen wander into a deadly trap there. Just get surrounded by spears and cleaned up. That's a nice pickup for Reddarksider, but gonna have to be very careful here, as these Yumis, once they get their Castle Age tech in, their veterancy, they're gonna counter most of what Reddarksider has. I mean, he's got 14 Ghazi on the field, so
I am very confused by the army mix that Stay Frosty is using. Sure, I mean, now the +1 is coming in, but these are feudal Yumi. These are veteran spears, and there is feudal samurai mixed into that. I really wish Reddarksider would pop down a market and buy himself Castle Age. But I guess we don't get what we wish for. This is a scary push, but not quite as scary if we did have veterancy upgrades in there.
There's not a lot of armor here, so I don't see how they're going to make it really past the TC. They are going to burn a lot of these houses, so Reddarksider could...
He's going to go straight for the food. He knows where the vills are.
Yep. And Reddarksider is running those villagers away. They got to build that gate in a hurry. And...
is there any
get out there.
Vision here? I mean, he needs to check the stealth forest, but there's the horseman from the other side. Like, it's still not as horrible as it could be, because Reddarksider actually has an army that could fight this. Yumi upgrade is coming in now, 10 seconds. But yeah, these are basically mostly just spears. There's a few samurai in there, but Stay Frosty's gonna lose his entire army here. Speaking of losing things, though, Reddarksider is bleeding villagers. He split some off here, but he is losing quite a bit.
No, I don't think Stay Frosty's going to lose everything, because the archers did not clean up enough of those spears. Ghazi are forced to kind of take this fight, and that's ugly looking.
Yeah, we've got 21 Scholar for Reddarksider, so his upgrades are really fast, but he choose to take this fight just a little bit too early, and he's completely out of food at this moment. He didn't take his deer pack right in front of the base either. And he lost 10 villagers in that. Yeah, now we're popping the scholars out. Unfortunately, there is really not a whole lot alive anymore to fight.
Nope. Stay Frosty, I think, is going to take this one.
Yeah, looks that way. Yeah, just... I mean, it was a little bit of a weird castle timing, because we weren't actually attacking with Castle Age units, but still, Reddarksider taking a little bit of his sweet time there to follow to Castle Age, and him not pro-scouting the deer pack in front of his base, so he just ran out of food.
Yeah, I don't think he sensed the Castle Age coming from Stay Frosty. I think he was just looking at the units that were being produced and was kind of just like, he's staying feudal for a while, and just didn't get that castle timing right. And then he was sort of forced to quickly switch and just couldn't do it in time. So that clean timing from Stay Frosty there, helped propel him to that win.
By the by, I'm gonna quickly swap us over to another scene here so we can check out the bracket of today. That, of course, didn't really transition great. Hold on. Bracket. Interacts. This is the wrong bracket. Of course, it makes no sense at all. So we're going to look for Rising Empires Weeklies 152. There we go. You know, when I said earlier, do we have everything set up?
Yep.
Yeah, there is...
We didn't?
We didn't.
That is unfortunate. What did we miss?
Yeah, I didn't set up the bracket. I love how I'm clicking on this and it's not loading. Now it is.
Mistakes were made, ladies and gentlemen.
Mistakes were made, but yeah, for anyone wondering... There we go. This is how today's bracket is looking like. We're in the first round right now. Reddarksider against Stay Frosty is going on. We're going to be watching game number 2 in a second. Simultaneously, we've got Coco versus Not a Beaver. We've got Lock and Ezra battling it out. And we've got Tiger versus Tyrus Lunar Spear. And Sass and Alistair will just have to wait for the first round. I'm sorry, guys. It's the waiting game for you.
And so, Tiger, that's Arabitsky Tiger, not real Tiger, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm getting my players correct. So, game 2, it looks like we're going to Baltic.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen a Baltic game in forever. Which what not most people would say, because most people would probably say, Baltic, I haven't seen a Baltic game in forever. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm confused because Baltic is a home pick of Stay Frosty.
I mean...
So Reddarksider is picking his opponent's map.
Look, he apparently is also comfortable with playing water, and maybe he just wants to have a little bit of a change of pace.
So, looking at the map drafts here and what both players have, I kind of think, Zushi's gonna absolutely be played here, but the other side, you haven't loaded yet what the Civ selections are, because we still got a little bit of a timer delay, but the other side is kind of interesting. It's a Civ that started very dominant on water, received some water nerfs, and now sort of some players seem reluctant to use it here, but Stay Frosty is going with it.
I think the nerf is mostly for when you are on a hybrid. When there's multiple bodies of water, the nerf actually hurts, because docks are so expensive for you now. But if you're fighting on the same body of water, like, I'm not sure it's nerfed at all, and we're gonna find out, but the radius that the Knight Templar docks now get for increased health on your ships is quite significant, and yeah, we're gonna see if that plays any role in the upcoming match.
Yep. So spawning in the north side in the color blue, they're keeping it easy for us, ladies and gentlemen. We have Stay Frosty, and kind of coming out house, 6 villagers on wood. One of them's going to come make a dock real soon. On the south side, you have Reddarksider. His dock is already kind of coming up, but as we mentioned, docks for Knights Templar are more expensive, so they can't get that dock down as quickly. Zushi's Legacy, and Zushi's Legacy is a common civ that many players will go to for water because you get that bonus drop off from the Imperial official you start with.
I already know where he's gonna put the meditation garden. Ugh. That is unethical.
There are some meditation garden spawns that you just kind of look at and, you know, hope your opponent doesn't go for it because it's just...
Oh my god, this one's even better!
There's some there's some choices that Reddarksider is going to have to make. I kind of like this sort of double berry gold situation going on.
That is very nice. There's a double stone berry gold, but with a lot more trees around it to the right side of his base too.
Yeah, the stone is kind of useful because you can get naval arrow slits on your dock, so your opponent can't get too close. We'll see if he goes for that, but for right now, we're just kind of getting started. The harbor, as it's called for KT, has finally come down. You have the first fishing boat on its way out. Meanwhile, Reddarksider, his is gonna kind of hit a little bit sooner, but not that much sooner. Did Reddarksider miss macro here? This fishing boat feels a little late.
Usually what you want to be doing is you delay the first house until like basically the very last moment, and you prioritize the fishing boat over the house. I think he did it the other way around, so he only queued the fishing boat after he had built the house, and that delayed it coming out. So yeah, good for Stay Frosty, I'll say.
Yeah, and so Reddarksider here, I kind of expect him to lean on this taxation to get the age up gold he needs.
Oh yeah, let's move it
taxation
to this.
from lumber camp. We'll see if that's what he does or if he just goes mining for gold.
Yeah, currently he has 40 in his lumber camp, and he actually no, he only just built the mill, so that is why that is delayed. He only has 6 on his mill right now. And for some who don't know, the dock also collects taxes, but yeah, that would be a little bit of a bigger drop-off distance if he chooses to go for that.
Yeah, the way it's situated right now, he is collecting the taxes, good, and he gets back to supervise. So he only really had one drop-off that was unsupervised. That's really good timing from Reddarksider there. And he's just going to use the taxes to get himself to feudal age.
Yeah, for now.
Stay Frosty, moving out on gold here. He's going to start preparing. So what do you think he goes with for his age up? Kingdom of France was very popular for quite some time, but the Principality of Antioch has been used a little bit more as of late. Those
say for the feudal age, I would just go with Hospitallers, honestly. Like it is the only direct bonus for your economy that the feudal age up can provide. And this is a pure water map with a shared body. So basically, once you lose water, good luck.
So I have a question. If you go Knights Hospitaller, it says increases civilian unit health by 30% and move speed by 10%. Is a fishing boat a civilian?
That is an excellent question that I don't know the answer to. My assumption would be no, as we see Principality of Antioch come up for him.
That's what I thought it was going to be. These axe throwers, man, they're just so good. Now, normally...
They get destroyed by Zuganus.
They do. They absolutely do.
Let me pause this for a second here, because we have some slight stutters, but yeah, moving on.
So I won't be able to answer my own question, because we're not seeing the Hospitallers, but I wonder if that does buff fishing ships.
Like, I don't believe it does, but we'll find out. I'm going to test that later. I really want to know. I don't think it will. And so Reddarksider is picking the juicier spot that I wanted. Double stone. Well, We'll see what he does with all of that stone.
Yeah, so he's going to get gold, double stone, berries, and a sprinkling of wood. And I think that might have been the difference here is you want as much wood in these situations as possible.
We have a weirdo in chat. He's getting very excited about these meditation gardens. But there is another thing. Reddarksider is only on the way to Feudal Age right now. Stay Frosty in this second, pumping out a galley and a hulk. And of course the galley is stuck behind the fishing boat, because why not?
Yeah, you got the third dock coming up for Reddarksider though. They are less expensive, so he should have no issue kind of countering this. He might get some idle time on these 8 fishing ships, but that's about it.
Yeah. War junk and junk are queued, and he should be fine with that. I mean, looks like the Hulk will be arriving before he has countermeasures out. But yeah, he's queuing up an explosive junk now as well. He shouldn't really be losing a fishing boat here.
No. Just kind of pull them back, the hurt ones, onto these shoreline fish for now. And here come the defenses here. War junk and junk are available.
And are we losing that fishing boat? No, we're not.
We are not. He microed it back perfectly fine. And Stay Frosty has to pull back.
Got 10 fishing boats currently for Zushi's Legacy and only 9 for Frosty here.
That is a scout though. Reddarksider doesn't pull a scout back in time and the Hulk picks him off.
Yeah.
That's important. You really want to be able to scout Stay Frosty's base here, see if he's putting down any production buildings. You can always go for a really sneaky attack here on land to gain an advantage.
Yeah.
And those axe throwers are actually really good at that. Now that I think about it, right? So the axe throwers do extra damage to buildings, believe it or not, because it's all melee damage. So they're fantastic for taking down these docks.
They're really good for that, but I feel like you're focusing very hard on these axe throwers when I don't think we're going to be seeing any of those. We'll find out, though. I'm a little scared for Reddarksider here, because Stay Frosty is already going up to 5 hulks, and Zushi is not keeping pace. He's now moving out with his much smaller water army, and he's going to run straight into this force here.
Yeah, but there's 2 demo ships there for Reddarksider, so... Nope, he sees a superior force, he goes, nope, turn around, we're going back home. Now is not the time, we need more.
Yeah, what's
Hey,
the reaction?
Frosty's going for castle. It looks like he's going for castle.
Yeah, he's definitely floating a lot of food right about now, and he still has a bunch. He only has 4 on gold though, so if he's going for castle, it's a slow castle. This looks more like a, okay, I haven't made a water unit in a second. 3 demo ships against 2 on the other side, and Reddarksider is adding a second galley to counter opponent demo ships.
Yeah, splits the demos out to the right side here, hoping to sneak them by unnoticed. But no.
Love the vision game that they're playing.
Yeah, this is that sort of like, you know, touch and go style of warfare that a lot of these water maps can kind of turn into here. It's like, do I have enough? Do I not have enough? I'm unsure. I'm going to turn around. Eventually somebody's going to have to take a fight here, but it's just, you're so uncertain just kind of looking at this as to whether you can win the fight or not.
Yeah. Reddarksider has his demo ships split out all over the sea here. And we see 1 galley. Is that an attempt at a raid at the fishing boats? It feels like it. Stay Frosty is sending 1 galley all the way around. And he's gonna find the fishing boats. And 2 demo ships too?
The demos are the real prize here. Ooh, Reddarksider notices. You've got the war junks kind of moving away. Ooh, good snipe there from Stay Frosty as he got one of the demos here. But that galley though, he's got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Reddarksider,
this might be an overreaction on his part, because his fishing is now completely exposed. His demo is slow, coming for a flank and running straight into the galleys. But this is a very, very offensive position for Stay Frosty. Dodges the demo hit, but are there more coming out for Reddarksider here? Does not look like it, but it's still 9 hulks for China. There's a demo hit coming in from the top side, and it connects. And counter demo too. This is beautiful. This just goes boom.
Isn't it mutually assured destruction right here? Both players probably need to take a breather and sort of reset here, but Reddarksider's out for blood. He's over pursuing
Next
here.
demo coming in.
Stay Frosty. Stay Frosty says that's not what
Shoot!
you should be doing here. And
You're one-shotting this. Just shoot it. Well, okay, no, you're not one-shotting it. You're just meant to, though. Well, looks like Reddarksider is actively losing water in this moment. Fishing boats, let's see here. Frosty's on 13. We've got his opponent on only 6 now, so that really hurt him. Yeah, moving his entire army to the left side to chase one galley was not the play.
That set Reddarksider back, and this is a match point here, so Reddarksider really gonna have to commit. And Stay Frosty, the macro is a little getting away from him, but he's remacroing here, and yeah, just like I thought, he's going to just say I won that fight, rather than, you know, go in and potentially throw. I'm gonna go castle. I'm gonna get a tech advantage.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go back, and I like this play from Stay Frosty. 12 on gold.
I mean, he's on 12 hulks at this moment. Reddarksider is gonna need a lot of demos, and he's making a lot of demos. And also, there is a stable up for Zhu Shi now.
Yeah, 12 minutes into the game, we're gonna get our first round or land military unit coming out. But I don't think it's gonna be in time.
Yeah, we've got 12 on gold now for Knight Templar. We do have quite a bit of water being remade for Reddarksider, though. He's fully committing to feudal at this moment. And this might be a very devastating moment for Stay Frosty if Reddarksider finds a good attack. Speaking of attack, though, there's 13 KT hulks moving across the map. And once again, there is a flank coming in from a demo ship, and it's going straight through, and it's going to connect. Or not? What was that? Did you see that?
Ooh, those demos coming in from Reddarksider get picked off before they can hit home here, and it's not looking good.
Nope.
Reddarksider doesn't have the forces. An emergency explosive junk, though, coming out. Galley trying to take it down.
Good
Ooh,
connection.
still
More
flex.
demos coming in from both sides. Demo take demo. And then there's still 8 hulks against 5. Next explosive junk is coming in. And Stay Frosty does not have a galley here anymore to deal with that. So this one actually takes out another boat, and Stay Frosty needs to pull back. He almost has the resources for Castle Age at this moment. As we see, okay, no. Reddarksider actually remade a scout, so he didn't actually go for a horseman. There's 2 horsemen in queue, though.
That attack from Stay Frosty right before Castle Age kind of gave a small window to Reddarksider here. We're going to see what age up he goes with. We are going for Angevin Empire, which is... No, we're going with Genoa. He canceled, and so now we're going to get Republic of Genoa here. And as soon as this age up comes in, I have to imagine that Reddarksider is just going to go for it and try to win water here. Because if those techs come in for Stay Frosty, there's not a lot Reddarksider can do at that point in time. Reddarksider with a little bit of a galley here. Stay Frosty, though, not over pursuing, not trying to get caught out of position. I think that was Reddarksider's plan with that little cheeky galley play, trying to do the same thing to his opponent that his opponent did to him. And once Republic of Genoa comes in, Reddarksider's got to do something.
Yeah, Armored Hull in 15 seconds. Reminder, these technologies got buffed. They are now cheaper and they research faster, which I still think is an unnecessary double buff. But hey, here we are. If you get Castle Age and you have a decent army number on the water and you can not fight for 20 seconds, it's really, really good for you. Especially under these KT docks, where you now have plus 170 health for those hulks.
Armored Hulls is in, so Stay Frosty should win this one handedly.
Yeah, there's no way that Reddarksider can do this. He is, however, trying to go for maximum damage and collateral here. Trying to go for the fishing, but the health buff is just too much. Horseman on the woodline, though, might find some more damage as we see double barracks popping down, triple barracks, actually. And Reddarksider actually finds a few villagers here.
Yeah, that's a consolation prize, though. He's slowly but surely losing water here. He's at a tech disadvantage and being pushed back.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have anywhere near the gold to go up. Reddarksider just got a full commit here. Do or die.
Frosty is out of wood, though. Like, his woodline has been denied. Spears are coming out now, but these are Dark Age spearmen. Will they be enough? I mean, how much does the Dark Age Spearmen do? They still do like 9 extra damage, right? No, +7, +20 to cavalry now as they hit Feudal Age. Never mind, they're much stronger than I expected. But yeah, Frosty is slowly chewing through Reddarksider on water. He's trying to get to Castle Age, or so it seems, like floating enough food to go up, but he just doesn't have the gold currently. Macro is suffering a little here. These horsemen, though, definitely paid for themselves. Lots of villager kills here, as we see the first sergeants enter the field. You were right, we see sergeants!
Yeah. Reddarksider, though, is pursuing his opponent who decided to withdraw, but they're kind of pursuing to their own demise, and GG gets called. Reddarksider not close to Castle Age. Gonna lose water. Stay Frosty is gonna move on.
Unfortunate for Reddarksider. He gets kicked out 2-0 because naturally the first round is a best of 3. I knew that. But my interface, my interface didn't, and it said best of 5 the entire time. Whoopsies. Mika Domen, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. And yeah, I'm not happy that Frosty made sergeants just to validate Liquid's prediction. But here we are.
Listen, the sergeant's a really good unit. It's a frustrating unit to counter. I mean, it's got its
they
weaknesses.
do decent damage, but that's about it.
Yeah. So, Stay Frosty has won a quarterfinals matchup with Alastor, who I believe is better known as Warspite, if I'm not mistaken.
You should be correct in that one. Honestly, I'm just gonna keep calling him Warspite. For now.
Yeah. So, kind of looking at this, we got a couple of potential games. Tyrus Lunar Spear, he recently started streaming. He's a Conqueror 3 player. You know, that's an interesting one. They're clearly in the middle of what I think is game 2, because Tiger's up 1-0. But he's a really good player. You also have Ezra and Luck. They've either not reported game 1 or they're just locked in an epic game 1. Those are 2 really good players.
You know,
Sass.
Hey, Liquid.
What?
I'm opening the chat for these guys because they now put a 3-0 in and apparently misreported something. And as I see that, they are preparing for their 3rd match on Dry River. And, well, apparently someone put the first round to best of 5 as well, which in my books is okay. But still, they're going to be playing another match.
Okay, so we are getting bonus games, ladies and gentlemen, here from Stay Frosty and Reddarksider. So that works for me.
I'll say the Warchief Club is meant for people like this. They're meant as a stepping stone, as a training ground for people who cannot participate in low elo legends anymore because they're now too good. But if they sign up for the Cracked Cup or if they sign up for any of the EGC events, then in the first round, they're going to be meeting Marine Lord. And this circle continues because in the first round, they'll always be meeting Marine Lord because their elo just keeps dropping, their tournament elo. And if they don't have a tournament where they can actually compete and win points, they will be forever meeting Marine Lord in the first round.
Yeah, I don't want
It's
that.
not a great system.
Yeah, that is definitely something needs to be done there.
It,
But
it in our defense, we pointed this specific fact out when they went for it, when they changed the system, and Bob, they didn't. So here we are.
yeah,
They did
that's
not react to that. Anyway, Dry River will be our next map.
Yep, and send me an invite when you can. It looks like we are getting the newly buffed, maybe nerfed, if you are to believe Reddit, Holy Roman Empire.
Wait.
And we're getting the Chinese.
Oh, I totally forgot that there was an HRE appreciation post on Reddit. So
Yeah,
telling, we got this buff. That means we're nerfed.
Yeah,
it was
listen,
beautiful.
I have not done the math hammer, right? You read the patch notes, and my first thought is HRE got a buff. And I'm going to ignorantly believe that HRE got a buff. And those that want to do the math hammer and want to math it out, they're free to do that. I'm gonna, take it as a buff. But yeah, it probably is a nerf. If I'm gonna be honest, it probably is.
Okay, walk me through the reasoning of why this should be a nerf.
Oh, okay, so the reasoning is as follows. The inspiration. You would build your villagers around the Aachen inspiration, and they would leave it. They would have 35 seconds outside the inspiration to where they keep it.
Are you gonna argue that there's the gathering cycle as they move out again is now exactly that way, that if you go average to an outside resources, you're not gonna refresh the buff? Like what?
So the buff used to refresh, and again, if you're to believe the Reddit posts, they will.
I'm not.
They will leave the inspiration, do all their gathering, and when they return, they're supposed to get another instance of the buff. But apparently, that's not happening. So they now have 38 seconds that they hold on to the inspiration buff, which puts them leaving the inspiration buff with something like 8 or 9 seconds left. So most of the gathering that trip out, they're not gathering buffed. And then once they lose the buff and they come in to drop off again, they pick the buff back up. And so that's kind of what the Reddit post is about. I again haven't done the math hammering on it, but there are definitely those in the community that believe that this was a nerf. Just saying, man. So we'll be able to see. Maybe it's Dry River. Mine work is sort of like a meme work landmark. So I do think we'll see the Aachen. Maybe the game goes.
Sure, calm down. Okay, this is my genuine opinion. Is it genuine? Genuine, probably. Anyway, I stand by it that the mine work is the better landmark now. In 95% of cases, unless you're playing a full water map. For the simple reason that the inspiration for now, you can inspire 9 villagers instead of 8, and now it even lasts longer. You don't need the Aachen. The Aachen does not cover, in most cases, unless you have a god spawn, the Aachen does not cover your entire economy, and you can just make a second prelate.
Yes, I like the mine work, but
and for late game,
the player pool,
you have the monasteries.
Listen, most of the player pool does not prefer it. That's all. You typically see the Aachen Chapel. And actually, shout out to the team over at AoE4 World. They are doing fantastic, but you can now track how often a particular landmark is used.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So while we're sitting here waiting, yeah, dude, those guys are doing tremendous work over there. So throughout all the games, based upon their most recent data poll, Aachen Chapel is used, and actually I think this data supports your previous claim. Aachen Chapel is used 57% of the time, but it has a losing win rate. Meanwhile, Mine Work is used 43% of the time, but it has a winning win rate. It's winning more.
Guys,
often
please keep going, Aachen. It's fine. Just it's a good.
Let's filter this. Oh, wow. Asklad, you are probably right. So I'm going to filter this for the Conqueror ranks. And in the Conqueror ranks, mine work is used 54.6% of the time, and it has a positive win rate. Chapel is used 54.4% of the time, and it has a losing win rate. So
I'm
again, it's
just
statistics.
flabbergasted that there's like almost 50% of people playing Aachen on land maps, which I'm
Yeah.
assuming is
So
land maps.
maybe it is not the mean work. Maybe it is legitimate. That is news to me. I really thought the Aachen would have been heavily favored, but again, those guys at AoE4 World just doing a phenomenal job there.
Stats
Love
don't
the data from
lie.
those guys. They do not. So yeah, maybe mine work will be seen here, and we have Stay Frosty. Just starting out on the pack, he's got 5 villagers in his prelate going out to that deer pack that his scout scouted at the beginning of the game.
Don't you love when you're
And
thinking like, I'm gonna do a deer opening on this map? And then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna walk around in this direction and maybe check a little bit to the side, and then both of your deer packs are on the other cardinal direction, all the way in the corner.
yeah, I mean, I don't I don't hate this, right? Like you're getting inspired villagers gathering deer in the Dark Age where you know your opponent can't deny it. And you're
Also,
saving your sheep for later.
just for reference, I know this is not a low elo legends cast, but just for reference, I hate this. Yes, you should be grouping your wills in two and shooting the deer, but you can actually push the deer in with your prelate as HRE.
All right.
You can push the deer onto the mill and then kill it there instead of killing a deer all the way out here.
I agree. And that takes a lot of APM, and Stay Frosty is like, look, man, I'm already getting the inspiration 35% gather on all my villagers. It's fine. They
He's
can
not
walk a
doing
little
anything
bit.
else.
He's scouting, man. He's
Okay.
looking for the opponent's base. He's trying to get sheep, right? You know, there's a lot more going on in Dark Age than deer pushing.
I'll
And also,
allow it. I'll allow it still.
a couple patches ago, they nerfed deer pushing, sir. Okay, they clearly said, no, 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 we don't want that. So Stay Frosty's just doing what the devs want him to do. That's all.
Yeah. Staying in the spirit of competition, not straying from the patch note path. It's okay. It's okay. I'll allow it.
Yeah, the only thing that I would like to see a little bit more is a Dark Age board pull from Stay Frosty, but that was not meant to be. It's a little far out there.
Where is... Oh, it's all the way over here. Yeah, that would have been a little bit of a... Yeah. You know, I thought about building a dock, and then I saw that boar, so...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised neither Civ is going for a Dark Age play. There's 25 or I'm sorry, 3,000 food per pond. You might delete up a shoreline fish on some of these ponds with the dock. But there's a couple of them where you can get all 3,000 resources.
Yeah, like it's a good opening. Honestly, if you build a dock here, you're gonna probably put it so that one of the shoreline fish gets docked. Sorry, I hate that. And then there's a deer pack right next to it, so you can actually just do that opening as we see a mine work come out on the other side there.
So this is Fast Castle into Knights for Stay Frosty. He's got one villager on the mine work. That just tells me he's not really worried about getting to Feudal Age. And he's not worried about potentially denying Pro Scouts. Means his forward deer pack could be under threat if Reddarksider scouts this and decides to go Pro Scouts, which is very common with China. And he's basically just saying, no, man, I want to go to Castle. I'm going to get my Knights. And, you know, we're going to use Steel Barding here. And we're going to have a Knight fight. And I'm going to win.
Yeah, Minework Knights are really strong. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see what Reddarksider is gonna do about that. Is he gonna... Yeah, no, he sees the two sheep there. His sheep haul is actually quite decent for China. Got 13 sheep still alive, so he could potentially skip Pro Scouts, but doesn't look like he will, as we see him with 8 on the wood.
So, is there a world where we get Burgrave here? Right? Just mass
Burgrave against
arms.
China?
just shutting down your eco. Like, I'm just asking, is there a world where we can get that? Stay Frosty is not too far away from Castle Age, and Reddarksider still has to put the landmark down, still has to start pro scouting. Men-at-Arms all over your base would be really frustrating to deal with.
Okay, here's my bit to that. You're playing against China. China can they have hand cannon slits that do extra damage to armored units. B, you have faster building speed, so they can go to Castle Age like insanely fast. By the way, that is a double horseman opening for Reddarksider, a triple horseman opening.
Yeah, I think he scouted.
No, he was nowhere near the opponent's base, but I do think he sees the dead deer in the fog. And the other thing that he sees is we are 5 minutes and 20 seconds in, and HRE is Dark Age.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. But you got a tower on the gold. These horsemen aren't going to do a lot other than denying the deer. One deer has 100. I think there's another deer that has 93 and one that has 260. So Stay Frosty is perfectly fine going back on sheep at this point. He doesn't mind. You know, he got most of those deer anyway. And there's not really much to pro scout.
He has 10 sheep to work with. That is usually when you're going up to me and you tell me, "Yeah, I've got 10 sheep. Can I go fast castle?" I'll say, "Yeah, if you enjoy dying so much, good luck." I'll say 10 is the bare minimum that I would think is a good idea here. And the thing is, he needs to move out of his base once he hits Castle Age. He needs to somehow break out of Reddarksider's surround. Then I say surround, but there's only 4 horsemen here.
Yeah, so a little bit of idle time on the gold did disrupt Stay Frosty's timing. He should have his Age 3 landmark down. It's probably going to be Regnance, because we got a barracks coming out. So, Burgrave not to be. But he's going to get at least 4 relics with this timing. Reddarksider has got to be a minute or 2 away.
Regnant Cathedral is coming up, and these horsemen, they're doing so much damage already just by existing, just by walking towards the opponent's gold. And Stay Frosty is immediately just garrisoning everything. Did not scout the age up yet, but maybe he heard it. I'm not sure. Reddarksider is on the board now. Love that.
Look at this Regnant's positioning, right? He's really setting this Regnant's up to be a really good mini Aachen chapel. It's right next to his TC. It's defendable.
Yeah.
Prelate is moving around, but it looks like he saw the scout, so he's just like, I'm going to come back. Not ready, don't have enough spears to go out for relics. We do have a cheeky Barbican out on the boar. I love this play. You're protecting fish, you're protecting the boar, but more importantly, you're sort of protecting access to a minimum of 2 relics, potentially 3 relics here, while you go up to Castle Age. Really smart move from Reddarksider.
It's a really nice position there. Castle Age is in, and so far we only have 4 spears and a feudal upgrade for them queued up behind it.
You know, when I look at this is not something we talked about at the beginning of this game, but Stay Frosty is sort of a disadvantage for the spawn. 3 of the relics are really... Wait, there's 3 relics on each side, isn't there?
I see one that just got picked up. There's the second one over here.
Or is there 5?
No, there's 5. There's not an extra relic on this map. Reddarksider
so
just saw the relic disappear, so he knows this
3
one is...
3 of them are on Darksider's side of the map.
Yeah, not great, not great. Honestly, people, yes, that is why we are often unhappy with the balance in AoE 4, because our maps sometimes just spawn like this, and there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, this is something you have to think about in your strategy, and if you think about I'm going fast Castle Regnance, you need to know where the relics are. As we see the second one also getting picked up uncontested. That is I'll say not great for Reddarksider.
How do you contest this? You've got horsemen, he's got spears, and he's got spears that get healed by a prelate. Not really, horsemen are coming back. They're gonna.
Oh, never mind. He's gonna see the prelate moving over here, and he's gonna walk straight into him with all of his horsemen. This guy is not making it home, unless we're too scared to commit. I really hope he will commit.
You don't commit to that unless you want to donate horsemen to your opponent.
Look, that is some weak argumentation here.
Horsemen are not knights, sir. They don't do a lot of damage here.
Oh, Prelate walked
So,
into the barbecue and is still trying to pick this up. It's just on the edge. As we see... No, that's a scout. I was gonna say, is that a Minework Knight? No.
he was trying. He's going to use his spearmen to tank so his prelate could get this relic. I guarantee it. That's what he's trying here.
That's what he's trying to do. Spearman doing a good job. Horseman coming back around though, and the barbecue shoots it all the way from Narnia.
That was a really good click by Reddarksider. He had to right-click it to get that.
Yeah.
But
China Castle Age is coming up in just a few seconds here. There is the walls that I thought he would already have been making, just to stop more prelates moving over. That one is also not making it home. And Stay Frosty has his first knight out now, but where is it? Because, I mean, we're donating a lot of prelates now. There's another one moving right behind this.
Ooh. Villager, though, from Reddarksider are going to go down as he attempts to get this wall up. Knight comes in for the final charge. Was a little unnecessary. Little brutal there.
Yeah.
Spears could have done the job.
That is 7 spears and 2 prelates here, and a Minework Knight. Is Stay Frosty gonna get away from this? Looks like it.
Maybe we're going to have another prelate go down as he attempts to get this
I mean,
relic right here.
Hear me out here. I can understand you're scared of the knights, and that's why you didn't go for archers, but at this point in time, archers would have been really nice.
Yeah, he has the Barbican. He could have gotten Chooks. Chooks are really powerful, so this is going to be a 4-to-1 relic split, most likely. And Stay Frosty, normally I'd say he's got to be happy about that, but the timing's here.
He's so happy about this, like...
See, that's a Woololol that you can go for because you have that knight there to hit the charge.
But this is gonna be 4 relic HRE Regnits with this spawn. Like, I am a little bit flabbergasted about this. And this is not a great fight for Reddarksider because there's so many... Okay, these spears are still Feudal Age.
No, they're not Castle Age.
And now they hit. Prelate goes down, but all the horsemen here are basically useless, so Stay Frosty is going to win this fight here at the front.
Yeah, we have a monastery coming up by the Barbican to at least get one, but Stay Frosty has enough to sort of deny.
No, the lance is walking straight into the spears. I cannot believe Stay Frosty is getting away with this.
Could you do me a favor? If you click on an HRE Knight, then you hover over their stats, it says 25 damage sword, but if you click on a Chinese Lancer and you hover over the attack, what does that say? See how it says sword there, right? Go to a Chinese Lancer.
Guandao.
Is this a new feature?
I have no idea what a Guandao is. I'm just assuming it is this weird... I thought they were called a Naginata. Basically a sword blade on top of a spear stick.
I'm gonna call it a new feature and blame Cow.
Good choice, good choice. Reddarksider did secure one of the relics, but it is 4 relic Regnits for Stay Frosty. This is an unmitigated disaster for Reddarksider.
Absolutely. Stay Frosty here kind of can do a couple different things. He can just kind of sit back and say, hey, I have 4 relics, man. Like, I'm going to go Imperial to counter your Song Dynasty, and I don't think you can do anything, right? You've got relics in these outposts with springs on them. This is not a position that Reddarksider can really assault, so I think Stay Frosty could do a lot of different things. He doesn't have to go and kill Reddarksider. He can go Imp if he wants to.
Yeah, probably just make two Spring on Towers on that forward gold, and then just
Yeah.
Go for
Wall's
it.
kind of coming out. Kind of looks like he's turtling up. All right, get comfortable, Askeladd. We're in for maybe
We're gonna be here a while. I mean, Reddarksider is currently mining stone. That could either be for a forward keep somewhere, which I would personally prefer to the 2TC song that I'm suspecting this is for.
Yeah. Also, Wheelbarrow coming in for Reddarksider 15 minutes into the game. Gotta love it. Wheelbarrow is one of my favorite upgrades. I always prioritize it. But some players lately don't feel the same. Oh, nice
HRE
raid
Knights
from
find the
Frosty.
deer. And I mean, that's a little bit of a premature GG. You're still China, you're still on Song Dynasty. But I'll say we're probably frustrated from already being 2 games behind.
Yeah, it's you're down 2-0. You're also down 4 relics to 1. You can't kill HRE, you can't punish them. You suspect Imp is likely coming. What do you do? It's just you turn it into a meat grinder type game that you're probably gonna lose. So he did the honorable thing and just said, "Hey man, move on. Like, good game, go next."